One of the first things you'll need to do when inside CaptionHub is configure your team settings. You can always access settings in the menu at the top right of the app. You'll see that there are a number of options here that we've divided into various sections. Please note that clicking on any of the headers here on the left-hand side will help you to quickly navigate to the specific section you need. Remember, any changes that you make in team settings will carry through and impact your entire account, so please make changes with this caution in mind. Let's take it from the top, beginning with General. This is where you can add in or edit your team name, and this will change it for all users associated with your team. You can also add in a team abbreviation, and depending on the 2-character abbreviation that you choose, it will reflect here in the upper right-hand corner, like so. If you wish to personalize your CaptionHub experience, you can upload a company logo, and that file will replace the team abbreviation. Next, you can set global workflow settings. CaptionHub offers a variety of workflows for review and approve that can be applied to both original captions as well as translations. These are set up here as the default at the team level, and this workflow that I've selected for my original caption sets and my translations will be automatically assigned to new projects. Of course, these team settings can be overridden on a per project basis, and even when a project is in flight, just as long as you haven't created captions or subtitles yet. Turning to roles and permissions. So here are some of the specific role settings that you can amend. Looking at the first one, by default, producers can't create projects. So when this box is selected, they can create projects and they'll automatically be assigned as producers to projects they've created and have viewing permissions for the projects they've created. Remember, producers can only see projects that they're actually attached to. Looking at the next option, by default, all linguists can't delete captions. When enabled, all your CaptionHub users, including linguists, are able to delete captions. And looking at the last option, when this is enabled, all of your CaptionHub users, including linguists, are able to download captions. Remember, each download will deduct minutes from your allowance in the usual way, so we suggest leaving this unchecked if that is not the desired behavior. And to make sure that you save your changes as you go, be sure to select Update Settings. Moving to security, CaptionHub has a number of built-in security features, starting with IP address whitelisting. If you want to lock down access to CaptionHub to a defined location or group of computers, you can make it so that CaptionHub only responds to a certain range of IP addresses by entering those IP addresses here. You have the ability to watermark, and here you can choose an image file, and CaptionHub will burn that image file onto all videos for your team. Lastly, within security, you have multi-factor authentication. So without this ticked, users can optionally choose to have 2-factor authentication, but with this selected, it's absolutely mandatory. And when you log in next, you'll be prompted to enroll a device for multi-factor authentication. Next, we have caption default errors and warnings. Projects can be configured against certain caption limits. Those limits are things like maximum caption duration, minimum caption duration, maximum character count, and so on. This is where we store the default set of specifications for your team, so you put it into place once and forget it, and it will apply these settings to all new projects going forward. CaptionHub will continually check whether captions obey these limits, and the real-time QC button will flag any errors on the project timeline or spreadsheet view against the level of scrutiny you've set. So you can think of this as hard and soft warnings. If you set something up as an error, like I've done so here, then you cannot approve these captions. If you set something up as a warning, then you can approve it, but CaptionHub will let you know that it was flagged in the validation. Again, this is one place that you can interact with this, and this is what will happen by default. At any time, you have the ability to override these, and you can modify your caption limits on a per project basis by navigating to a specific project. Once that project has original captions, you can edit those limits on a per project basis, against your specific requirements for that project. Moving next to transcription. Here is where you can set the default engine for your transcription provider. By default, we set Speechmatics, but if you want to make a change, it's just as easy as tapping in and selecting another option available to you from the drop-down. For translation, Amazon is the default provider. Again, if you want to make changes, it's easy to do. Just please note that each engine has provider-specific options that you can learn about by selecting on the question mark here. Regardless of the provider you choose, we encourage you to leave Use Translation Service by default elected. Not having this checked results in blank captions, so we encourage you to keep this as is. Should you need to develop a third-party integration, this is where you can create an API key. And for more information on the API, there is documentation available in the knowledge base. Lastly, looking at languages, here is where you can set up your default languages. So if you know the number of languages that you will be translating into, you can select them here on this list, and doing so will mean that the translation model will only surface or display the languages that you've selected here. And this just really simplifies the experience for the members on your team. Of course, when new languages need to be translated, come in here, select those languages as such, and be sure to save any changes that you've made. This will help ensure the accurate language list is carried over to new projects.